I'm not a safe bet at work, and I haven't been for some years now in my career across different companies. And that is why, even though I have a portfolio that I could show of things that I have done at every company, that I have great relationships with people, I'm not a safe bet. I'm okay with that. Safe bet is who the company is going to invest in. These are the people who are going to grow probably quickly within your organization. There are certain people in the workplace, and quite fine people, by the way, but there are certain people who make leadership feel comfortable, and leadership cares about their comfort. Leadership cares about who they can control. Leadership cares about their own self-preservation. And so who they choose to pick to be elevated in companies, it's not about what they say it's about. We know what we have been told and, across our careers, but the reality doesn't seem to line up. So I'm going to get in this video things that I have noticed in my career about who is a safe bet employee. Safe bets are predictable. Leadership knows what they are going to say or do in any situation, and they also know that they know what not to say in various situations. So these people are very consistent with that. They are non-threatening, and I'm not talking about street threats, because some of you are threatening, but you're lovely people. You're a threat for a number of other reasons, and I did a video about it, so you can watch it there. Even when these employees disagree with what's going on, they just don't say anything. They're just going to go along with it because they understand there's no point in speaking out or asking the hard questions like you all love to ask the hard questions. I also noticed that to be a safe bet, you have to have a palatable personality. And this one really gets under my skin, especially as a Black person, because you have to make people feel comfortable. They have to feel safe with you, very, very friendly. Nothing wrong with being friendly. These employees they'll do the small talk. Okay, they'll do all the small talk. They'll do the fake smiles. They'll perform. Whether they like it or not, they know what to do and they do it. They're very neutral emotionally, okay? You're not going to get a rise out of them. They're not going to express those emotions, okay? They're just neutral. Leadership feels very comfortable around people like that. When leadership looks at the safe bet, they see themselves. They're a mirror for leadership. Now, that's not just about how people actually look, although let's not discount that can be a part of this as well. Safe bets are culturally aligned. So you look at your leadership team and ask yourself, am I like them? Do I make decisions the way that they make decisions? Do I influence the way that they influence? If your leadership team is extroverted and you're introverted, they don't see themselves in you. If they are data driven and you are led by your intuition, I love it, but that's not culturally aligned. So it's going to be based on what is the deal at your company. And so you have to recognize if you are that for them. Safe bets are low maintenance. They don't ask for much. They don't need much. Don't need a lot of check-ins. Don't need accommodations, all the accommodations. They don't need that. If there's chaos, so what? They can move forward. They are adaptable. And some of these things are great skills to have, but it's just the way that leadership wants this packaged, it gets icky. I would never want to check off all the things on this list. But again, if you do, then do you. You should be, if you're not rising in your organization, I don't know what's going on. Low maintenance employees aren't going to call things out. They're not going to call stuff out, and they're not going to quit either. Leadership views them as like they'll stick around, which leads me to my final point. Safe bet employees appear loyal. Okay? They are willing to sacrifice aspects of their personal life for that company, for that job. Okay? They don't have side hustles. They don't have like a small business while they're working full time for the company. But they typically don't have like a super strong personal brand independent of that company. If they're on LinkedIn talking about something, they're talking about the company. They're not talking about themselves. They appear to be there for the long haul. They appear to be focused on the goals of that organization. There's not one path to success. You can be, a company gal or guy and rise through those ranks. You can be someone who knows that you are talented and, maybe you're assertive and strong and you don't play and you don't look the other way and accept all kind of stuff. you know that you can't stay long at any company. You leave your mark and then you go to the next, and you can continue to rise and rise. It's easier for you to get brought in as an external hire than to grow within these companies. Once I, on some level, realized years ago that I'm not a safe bet in the corporate world, it freed me. And it also allowed me to redirect the energy that I was putting into trying to prove myself at work. And I put that energy into other projects, into spaces that do embrace me and do reward me for my actual skill without all of the games and the need to conform and comply, because that's never going to be me. So it can work for you either way. I don't judge either way. Get to the bag however you get to it. But don't worry if you're not a safe bet. Bet on yourself.